In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up this ON 4-device remote control. I'm going to show you how to put some codes in there for a couple of devices. I'm going to show you how to set up the auto program sequence and lock your audio to a soundbar if you have one. I'm going to make it real easy for you. This is Rudy from Take a Bath Productions with another video showing you how to fix various things. If you're a subscribed member to my community, then welcome back. If you're new to this channel, consider clicking that subscribe button below, and please like this video if it was helpful for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right in. So real quick, this thing takes 2 AAA batteries and they go right here underneath the back cover. Now if your remote is having trouble accepting codes or programming, make sure that your batteries are fresh. Weak batteries can cause problems. There are 2 ways to get codes into this remote: the direct code entry method and the auto code search. The direct code entry is the easier method of inputting the codes and will work for most cases. The auto code search will take a little bit longer since it searches through all the codes in the database for your device. Now, if your code happens to be at the end of the list, it can take several minutes to cycle through. We're going to start with direct code entry. You're going to need the code list that came with your remote. If you've lost the list, I'll post a link in the description below. Okay, so locate the codes from the list for your devices and try the first code in the list. Press and hold setup until the red light stays on, about 2 seconds or so. Now press and release the device button that you're working with. So in my case, we're working with a TV. Although you could choose any of these device buttons you want because any device will work with any device button. All right, enter the code from the list. In my case, I'm working with an LG TV, and that code is 5501. All right, the light should go out if that's a valid code. Now, if it's not a valid code, that light will flash and stay on. You're going to want to point the remote at your device to test the code and see if it's working as expected. Sometimes a code will only partially work. You'll want to test volume, menu, input, etc. to see how your device responds. Now, if it's only partially working, try the next code in the list until you've exhausted all the codes. If none of the codes work, try the auto code search method coming up here shortly. Now, to test menu on this remote, just press the setup button. It has a secondary shift feature right here. If you notice the LED is flashing, any of these white printed buttons, that will activate the secondary feature. So just press shift again to exit out of that. And real quick, I'll set up an audio device so that I can show you the audio lock here in a little bit. All right, once again, press setup until the light stays on. Now press your device button. In this case, I'm going to press the AUX button for my audio device, but I could choose any button. All right, so enter the code. My device is a Bose soundbar, and that is 0886. The light went out. Now, if the direct entry method failed, then the auto code search is going to be your next step. This will send out a code about every 2 seconds until it's exhausted all the codes. You'll want to start with your device turned on. As usual, press and hold setup until the red light comes on and stays on. Press and release your desired device button, so TV in my case. Now point the remote at your device and keep it pointed at your device the whole time and press power to start the sequence. Okay, if you're working with a DVD or VCR, you're going to want to press play to start the sequence, so you're going to want to have a DVD or a tape in there ready to go once you do this. All right, if you notice that this light is flashing every time it's sending out a code, so you're going to want to keep your finger on the number 1 button, ready to press it when your device responds. Once your device responds, okay, let's say the TV just responded, it turned off. Press the 1 button to lock the code. Now you're going to want to test this code, as I mentioned earlier, to see if your device is working as expected. If not, you're going to have to go through this test again, this time stopping on the second code that your device responds to, since you already tried the first code and it was a joke. All right, if your TV is off, your TV should turn on the second code. Now, if you happen to pass your code, you can just press the setup button here to reverse the direction, and then press 1 once it gets back to your code. Now, the master volume feature allows you to lock your volume control to a single device like a soundbar or an amplifier or whatever, so you don't have to switch back and forth from your TV to your aux or whatever to make little volume adjustments. I'm constantly making volume adjustments. Okay, so to enable this, press and hold setup as always till the red light comes on. Now press and release the device button that you want to lock the volume to, so aux in my case. All right, now press and release the mute button, and then press volume up. The red light should blink twice and go out. Now when you're in TV mode, the volume will work the soundbar. To disable this, press setup as before. You might want to go back to your TV control. Press the device button that you had the volume locked to, so aux again. Press mute, and then volume down. All right. Now, if you just feel that you've messed everything up and you just want to start over, you can do a factory reset. Press and hold setup till the red light stays on. Press OK, and number 0. All right, that's factory resetted. That's it. Thanks for watching.